I'm Michael Che.
And I'm Colin Jost. And we've got a little secret. Actually, it's a pretty big secret.
Well, now you gotta give the people something.
No, I'm not saying a word.
Oh, then people won't know to tune in. Come on, tell them a little.
Like how we're hosting a comedy event streaming only on Peacock.
Exactly.
Or how it's called New York After Dark, and it's a comedy show that only features drop-in comics.
Boom, you nailing it, dude.
Michael Che's phone number is...
Whoa, hey.
New York After Dark. It's some kind of comedy thing, and it's streaming now, only on Peacock.
You love it.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
77 WABC.
The Cure, it's Friday, I'm in love, baby. I am in love. I'm in love with almost all of you listening right now, except for a few of you morons. But for the most part, I love you. And I love Troy Miller. What's not to love? I love Noel. I love all you guys. You know, my friend David Friedman is coming in. He's probably here already. He's back from Israel a while. And he wrote this new book. He was on, about 2 weeks ago? One Jewish State. And I've actually gone into politics in Israel. Based upon his book title, we are trying to take this One Jewish State group, which is led by Friedman, I'm a delegate, and actually become part of the World Zionist Congress. Very complicated, but I'm doing it. So Friedman and I talk all the time, you know. So he comes into, he's got the new book out, so he has like 9 events in the next 2 weeks. Like every day they call me, Friedman, I can't do them all. I can't do it. I have an event with the IDF on Tuesday. They're honoring my friend Michael Rappaport. I got to go to that. Trump is speaking at Nassau Coliseum on Wednesday. I go to that. So I pick like 1 or 2 I could do for Friedman, you know. In fact, next Thursday, I'll be with Friedman, Thursday night. But he's got these Jerusalem prayer breakfasts they've been asking me to do and speak and all that. And that's coming up on the 15th and the 16th. And that's going to be terrific. And I find out that Troy, the president, I should say, and CEO of the NRB, will be speaking at this Jerusalem prayer breakfast to bring a message of Christian solidarity on behalf of the religious broadcasting community. And you may not know this, but I'm very, what's the best way to put it? I'm big into Israel. I'm going back October the 5th. I was there in January and February. I'm doing my show October the 7th from just outside Gaza for the 1-year commemoration, right. Okay? And I'm a fierce fighter for Israel. Friedman can tell you this. And we're always saying the Jews are not enough. Thank God the Christians and the evangelicals, to their credit, have stepped up. And they become great partners in our fight against terrorism and Hamas. So let me start by saying thank you very much, Troy. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure. And look, we look at it as not just our duty, but the humanitarian thing to stand up for Israel. I was in Israel in December last year, just 2 months after the October 7th event. And we went down south. We saw all the communities that were ravaged. And I mean ravaged. That's just, there's no other way to say it. There's the most inhumane things that went on down there. Forget where you stand on all of this. This was inhumanity at its worst, at its absolute worst. So it is our honor to be able to stand by our Jewish brothers and sisters.
So I showed Troy my jacket I'm wearing later when I change into my TV outfit for Brian Kilmeade. And on my lapel, I wear it every day. It's the flag of the United States and Israel. And you're wearing the same exact pin this morning. That made me happy. You wear that every day, too, like I do?
I do. I wear it every day, and I also have the same dog tags that you have on, with the Bring Them Home Now. So we're supporting getting the hostages home and getting them home immediately. It should be the top priority of every country around the world, but especially this country, because 3 Americans are still held.
That's right. 3 Americans are still held. And, Noel, you work with Troy. Joanna Wisher loves you. What exactly is your title? What exactly do you do with Troy's group?
Well, thank you for the kind introduction,
You're
Sid.
welcome.
Yes, I support the NRB as the Vice President of Public Policy and Communications. We have offices in Nashville and offices in Washington, D.C., where we do our advocacy operations.
Oh, nice. I love Nashville. It's a great... Where do you live?
I'm on Capitol Hill, and Troy is in Nashville.
Oh, okay. So you're a Nashville guy.
I'm a Nashville guy.
Isn't that a great city?
It's a great city. It really is. It's got it's growing, but it still has that small feel to it. It's fun. It's exciting. Downtown's great. And a lot of events. You know, a lot of people don't know that Nashville does the largest 4th of July fire exhibit in the country.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I was there for the first time years ago for John Daly's golf tournament. And I went to the Grand Ole Opry. I stuck out like a sore thumb. They're like, you don't live here. You're not one of us. And I went to the barbecue, and I saw Vince Gill perform, and I fell in love. And I would move there, actually. You know, people leave here because it's a horrible city, horrible. And we go to Florida, Arizona, North Carolina. Tennessee's a nice place. Country music, they love America. And as far as I know, Judeo-Christian values still very important in Tennessee.
Yeah, very important. It's also not only is it they had a country music, but contemporary Christian music is centered in Nashville. So you get the best of both worlds. Yep.
Who right now is the biggest star in that field?
The biggest star. Well, there's folks like Laura Story. She's really doing well. This is one for my daughter, not me.
No, I know, but when I went to see Vince Gill, for example, he was having an unholy affair with Amy Grant. But Amy, it was one of those folks who was a very, very popular Christian singer, right? Isn't that right? Amy Grant is one of the all-time greats.
She is. And the truth is, some of the old-timers are still having an incredible impact. Right. I mean, Michael W. Smith still comes up to Capitol Hill, leads worship, encourages people, inspires people. You know, it's a very, very multi-generational field. And another thing about contemporary Christian music, it is one of the fastest growing radio formats right now. It is gaining and gaining by the double digits every quarter, as well as religious talk and teaching.
So you're obviously into this. Is that your favorite type of music? Is it?
I love talk radio. Talk radio is my favorite format. We love the religious talk and teaching. So many of our members are airing on AM radio, and that's where we think the mission is really being carried forward.
I feel like I'm unholy with you guys in the studio, just so you know, because I curse and I talk about horrible things like pornography, and here you are, Christian. I'm sorry, I take it back now. But in all seriousness, it's so important that Christians, folks, are helping us in this fight. We can't do it alone. The Jewish people are so small in number, so small. And the thing that struck me most, guys, Troy and Noel, when I left Israel last time, and I like to watch the map on the flight, and you see all these countries, like a lot of them, and they hate us. And then you see like this little, and I'm flying away from it, this little country the size of New Jersey, and somehow, they're still there, the greatest democracy in the Middle East. But they're not big enough, there's not enough of us, and without your help, we will not survive. People understand that, yes?
Yeah, well, people in the Christian community certainly understand that, and that's a big reason behind the support. I was there again in May for the Jerusalem Prayer Breakfast in Jerusalem, and NRB hosted a solidarity tour. So we brought a group of Christian leaders over and met with folks not only from the government, but from the religious community and from the NGOs. And one thing I heard over and over again, especially when we met with some of the more reformed rabbis, these are the progressive liberal rabbis, was how much they appreciated it. It was the Christian community and the conservative Christian community that was there supporting them, praying for them. The ones that are here taking up the charge, Christian radio, Christian broadcasters have been talking about this since October, and their progressive left friends have abandoned them completely.
Wow. Not shocked. So tell me this, Troy and Noel. It sounds to me like maybe having a difficult time is a stretch, but at the very least, you want more of these Christians to vote. You want to make sure they come out and vote specifically, I would hope, I know you do, for Donald Trump. By the way, there's people in Israel that could still vote for this election. Is that true? Is part of the reason why you're out here today talking to me is to, at the very least, inspire people to vote?
Well, we're a 501c3, so we can't endorse or oppose candidates, but
Right.
we think it's the God-given right in this country to vote. We think it's a privilege that God has given us. We think the founding fathers understood that, and we think it's important that Christians get out to vote because they need to understand and quit being ashamed and shamed out of the political process, get involved in the political process, and understand they're going to choose the people who governs them. These are the people that are going to make the policy decisions. They're going to decide where the money gets spent. They're going to decide the winners and losers. And with the weaponization of government going on with Christians and Christian communicators, they need to get out and let their voice be heard.
Well, what is the percentage? Why does it sound like I should be a little nervous about this? What's the percentage of folks that are not voting?
About 37% of
that's
Christians.
Too high.
Yeah.
That's too high.
Well, 7 million people in the swing states alone. You know, just a minor change in this would make a huge impact.
Why aren't they voting? What's the issue?
A number of issues. First of all, not enough pastors across the country are talking about the key issues that are really ahead of Christians today. Social media makes them afraid and ashamed to get out and be involved in politics. And they honestly think too many of them have bought into the idea my vote doesn't count. But remember, look, you're not just voting for the president if you're in a red state. You're voting all the way down the ticket, and that makes huge importance to your local governance.
No doubt. Very, very good point, Troy. Very good. So, you know, when I talk to my friend Siggy Flicker, she's great. She always says, Noel, she says, they're coming for the Jews on Saturday, Shabbos, and they're coming for you on Sunday when you're in church. Just in case you guys think this Hamas-Israel thing is about the Jews, it's not, okay? They want everybody. They want Christians just as much as they want Jews. You guys feel that, yes?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if that's the case, then why don't more people get involved? I think the problem is that while you guys get that, a lot of Christians don't understand that they're under siege as well. I mean, look, right here in New York, we got politicians who don't want prayer in school. I got to tell you, I'm a Jewish kid. I went to Poly Prep. I had to go to Mass every morning, right? I didn't care. It's okay. That works for me. I really believe these school shooters and all these kids that have gone bad, if they had a father would help too, don't get me wrong. But if they had some religion, it would mean a heck of a difference. Yes?
Yeah, well, even if you think back and think that if they just had the foundations of the Judeo-Christian values and principles and morality that was taught to them, forget forcing the religion on them to say you have to go one way or the other, but just to understand those principles and values. They not just prayer, but they've been ripped out of the schools as well, and that's why we're seeing all the issues today.
Are there any politicians, either one of you guys, Noel or Troy, that are serving today that you feel like are real partners that represent Judeo-Christian values maybe better than others and maybe need to be heard more from?
Well, I can think of a few who have been incredibly impactful on that front. You know, Josh Hawley has been an amazing voice for the concept of Christian statesmanship. A lot to admire there. I think on the side of just tactical leadership, Jim Jordan has been incredible. What the House Judiciary Committee is doing. They've made the public aware of so much of what's going on. But that leads me to another point that I think is very important as part of this conversation. You know, we saw some research recently indicating that more than half of evangelical Christians are not paying much attention to news about politics and government. And if you don't know what's going on, then you don't know that your freedoms are under threat. And that information is such an important precursor to voting because low information voting is another risk, you know?
I know.
And so it's so important that all people of faith, you know, if these trends carry throughout other religious groups as well, we've got a big problem on our hands.
Agreed.
So important that people of faith are listening to independent analysis, and more so even that broadcasters who have those values, who are people of faith, are providing that critical engagement with the issues.
No, they don't listen. You know, I was having this argument with Bill O'Reilly yesterday. Not argument, but different. You know, we're talking about who won the debate on Tuesday. And on substance, okay, Trump won because she spent 90 minutes lying to the American people. But not enough Americans are aware of what's going on. My listeners, they're much more savvy. They think they represent everybody. They don't. They don't. Most people are watching the Dolphins and the Bills, Real Housewives of New Jersey. They're at their friend's house. They have no idea. So the fact that Harris can sit on stage for 90 minutes and not fall asleep like Joe Biden and actually come at Donald Trump like she did made her a worthy candidate. It doesn't matter what she says, to Bill O'Reilly's point, because, like you're talking about, too many Americans have no idea. They just don't. Is that not a fair statement?
No, that's a fair statement. Too many Americans are disengaged from the political process, and they don't understand. They didn't tune in. They don't understand the issues for themselves, and they're living off of this soundbite kind of media delivery. And look, I think Noel made a great point. That's why it's so important for broadcasters, and we've been pushing very hard. Our Christian broadcasters are doing such a great job of getting the truth out there, getting the message out there, and getting people engaged.
How many Christian broadcasters are there? I'm just curious. I don't have any numbers on this. Do you? Around the country.
Around the country?
There's around 1,000 Christian radio stations in the country, many other, affiliate stations that will carry Christian content. But beyond that, the world of digital communications, that's radio alone, but television, digital, publishing, that entire world is vast.
Are you a religious person yourself?
I am, yes.
So you go to church every weekend and all that stuff.
Yes.
And are you married? You have kids and all that?
I am married, yes.
How many
I got
kids
married
you have?
last December. No children yet.
You just got married last December?
Yes, I did.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
Thank you.
And you too, I imagine. You go to church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very religious person.
4 kids.
4 kids?
4.
Look at you.
Yeah.
And you go to church every week and all that. Yeah. It's funny, the Jewish religion, we have so many groups, And I grew up basically, even though my dad was very religious, my mom wasn't. So I grew up as a Reformed Jew, which is basically one step away from being Christian. I celebrated Hanukkah and Christmas. And then you have like the Orthodox, which are, they're in temple every day, the whole thing. And I think before October the 7th, there was really a kind of a split between all these Jews, I think since October the 7th, I think most of the Jewish groups tend to accept others because we're starting to realize we're outnumbered here and we need all the help we can get, But there's all these different, levels of Judaism. You don't really have that in your religion, or do you? I'm asking out of ignorance.
Yeah, we actually do. We have different denominations and folks that hold to some different theological beliefs about the Bible, but the core really still centers around, the work of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And
right.
So we do center around that. And that's unity is a big issue for NRB. That's one of the things that we push within the body of Christ and getting this Christian community unified.
NRB, boy, you guys do a tremendous job. You really do. It's a very, very important message. I'm very happy to meet both of you this morning. So what's up next for you? What do you got to do next?
Oh, so we're here in D.C., so we're doing some more media the rest of this week. And
then you're in New York today.
Yeah, sorry, New York. I am in D.C.
Sorry, sound like Joe Biden.
I've been on the road. I don't know where I'm at. We're in New York today. We're doing some more. And then Monday, as you said, I'll be with you at the Jerusalem Prayer Breakfast, again, bringing that message of solidarity from the Christian community to let our Jewish brothers and sisters know you're not alone. There were over 1,000 churches. Jack Hibbs, pastor out in California, had over 1,000 churches praying for peace and protection for Israel.
And people must know this, too, that there are Christians being held hostage as well.
That's right.
Not all Jews.
That's right.
There are Christians being held hostage.
That's right.
Right. And around the world, we still see horrible acts involving Christians in countries all over the world every day. Right?
Every day, Christian persecution is on the rise throughout the world, and unfortunately, it's even on the rise in Europe, with Christians being one of the vocal groups there to talk about what's going on in the culture, and now we're seeing Christians jailed across Europe.
I mean, if I remember correctly, guys, and I may be wrong, but I think I'm right. When Barack Obama was president, and in Egypt, they started beheading people on the beach. Those are all Christians.
Those were Christians in Egypt and in Libya. That's right.
I remember that. That was awful.
Yeah, and right now in Nigeria, there's a major Christian persecution and purge going on. In Armenia, right now, the Armenian Christians are still being persecuted there. And so Christian persecution and Christian persecution is on the rise in China again.
Jeez. Well, listen, you guys are terrific. You're both great. Thank you for coming in today. Look forward to seeing you on Monday. Keep spreading the message. We all need each other. Jews, Christians, all of us. Troy Miller, once again, is the president and CEO of the NRB. Noel happens to be the VP of Policy and what else now?
Communications.
That's right, which you're very good at communicating. Thank you very much. You're both great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
You got it. Troy and Noel.